Hi guys, this is DSY. Only trade I took today. I had trouble getting shares of what do you call it, KWE at market open. We'll go over that play later. And then when it came back up for the great high day clear out midday, shares went up to 12 cents a share, which is pretty lame. So did not get the opportunity, but this is a classic little short. Um, So, a few things about DSY. 4 a.m. parabolic. You'll learn that in my Discord, I explained that, hey, a lot of these parabolics that happen in the after hours, they happen at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., pretty much any time before 7, but especially early on. They tend to be very weak for longs, right? It's pretty rare. Um, Without a ton of chart paint and volume, it's quite rare to for a massive, 4 or 5 a.m. parabolic that went up 100, 200, 300%. Anything over really 100%. Super rare for those highs to get reclaimed. Uh, so so I wasn't looking for the market open long. That being said, this was VWAP. There's like VWAP right here, and it's very common for stocks to paint VWAP resistance. I call it fake VWAP resistance, where a stock, a lot of times, you see this on the backside a lot. We saw this with MLGO today, where stock rejects VWAP, 2, 3, 4 times. A lot of times it's very like violent rejections. And if there's the volume there, if there's the soak there, if there's the bids there, a lot of times the VWAP gets pushed and squeezed out. So some people in my room actually took this long at market open, which is actually fine, but because of the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. parabolic and the extension on the chart, it doesn't make the long very good. So a lot of times you just get to the painted liquidity level, and then it pulls. And I didn't take that just because I thought that was pretty far away. I'm like, well, high day. By the way, high day is at like 650 here. I'm like, you know what? It's not exactly the best, but I got a lot more interested after this push because this is a little bit more range. That being said, I still didn't really make a lot on it because I'm still shorting in like the high 460s, low 470s. But what makes this so nice is a lot of times when you get these overly aggressive moves that target a key liquidity area, which in my opinion, the key liquidity area is this high, right? It's the high after the down only. So this is classic rigging, right? High, massive down only, huge rig, right? A lot of times, we'll see this with KWE today. A lot of times, massive down only is really strong on rotations. So yeah, you get a major squeeze of the level, and then I really do like to wait for these second pushes. Really nice. Was waiting for it the whole time. Is there anything on the book here that's even? I have the book open on a different. What is this? Oh wait, there is no book because there's a book map because this is like a new SPAC combination or whatever. For some reason bookmap was unable to pull, so I was actually trading this the way I used to trade short, which was with no book map, which I can still do. I would say market open longs, I absolutely need book map for. Most like pre-market, market open longs, really important to have book map to see what the ask looks like, to see what the bids look like. It really tells you the quality of the play, right? But shorting, I don't need it as much because I went through a lot of my career without needing it. Period. And I could see by the over aggressive. I'll pull up my take a swim. I can see by how overly aggressive this push is. There's gonna be a lack of support. There's probably not a whole lot of bids. Also, volume wasn't super crazy. Like it was breaking 400, 500K, but it wasn't like 1.5, 2 million. So I didn't consider it to be that bullish volume. Bullish enough for rigging and doing like controlled dumping, rotations like this, but not enough to be really too scared. And yeah, classic little second push. And actually, I don't think it went all the way up to 4.9, but it did go up into the 4.8s. And definitely the 4.7s and the 6s. So got out on the 1 minute 50 tap. Because again, when I'm really far away from high day, like how far away I'm shorting from high day here, there's too much risk associated with more shenanigans before it pulls for real, which it did here. Um, didn't take the second short on this just because it was so rapid. This also didn't reach 5. I believe this reached like 4.9s or something. It didn't break 5. Um, maybe high 4.9s. But anyways, because I'm shorting so far away from high day, I get like I would recommend getting more aggressive on your covers, right? Because there's too much risk for a rotation, you know, even if it's back up here or even higher, like you don't really know. So, that being said, you could see the painted higher lows leading up to these clear out moves. Tons of higher lows, right? So unsurprising that eventually when this died, ran out of volume, no more rigging, and ended up just cracking through all these higher lows that it set in the morning. But yeah, 1 minute 200, basic cover, 1 minute 50, and then when it started rotating and doing weird stuff over here, I'm like, I'm just going to get out. Just don't want to worry about it. So bad average makes me more aggressive on covers. All right, and then we got KWE. So it pops in pre-market on big increasing volume. You know, I consider this a bullish factor. Stocks making new highs on increasing volume, I consider bullish. And then in my Discord, called it out. Hey, KWE is getting walked down into open. So a lot of times when overextended stocks get walked down into open, they push. That's actually literally exactly what happens. They fucking push. Go back to old examples from back in the day. Here's ASST from back June 12th of 2023. Big increasing volume push. Does a bunch of like consolidation up here. Kind of a little long trap push. But again, walk down in the open, squeeze the walk down. A lot of these walk down in the opens on extended stocks will push. But they also tend to lack continuation. That's the funny thing. They'll push, but a key component, by the way, is the aggressive up only of the initial move. If we go back to KWE, it's the same thing. So it's the walk down in the open in combination with the overly aggressive move, like 100% move, walk down in the open push, right? Now, you can log walk downs in the open, but they can be difficult, right? It'd be great if this like actually swiped a VWAP down here and then pushed. A little bit better, but it's actually started to rotate right before market open and just did a 930 green candle. Definitely could have shorted. Like I said, the higher something goes, the more likely these 1 minute 20 rotations are to fail, right? You could actually see it propping. You could see it propping on the 1 minute 20, right? And just higher and higher something goes, the more likely the 1 minute 20, 1 minute 50 rotations fail. Gets a huge dump, but then something really interesting happened. This was happening in April a lot. In my Discord, I have a section called Morning Dump in the Midday Rotation. I was tracking these in April. For example, we could go to WISA back on April 19th. Let's do that. For the same idea. Right? Big volume, big push, massive down only. And again, one of those counterintuitive things where the more aggressive the down only is in the morning, and the more like deliberate the selling is with like very, very like strong sell-offs, like straight down, the stronger the rotation is later in the day, right? So it's like massive sell-off. It just creates this massive imbalance of like too many sellers and no buyers, because any dip buyers can be shaken out. It looks super weak, right? Shorts start trying to hit the, desperate shorts try to start hitting these pops, and you get massive rotation. Another example from back then was LGVN on the 15th. Let's go to that. Right. So massive down only. So huge push, right? Crazy market open push. Super bottom down name. And here's a 4 a.m., 5 a.m. parabolic that ended up squeezing. But remember, April was probably the strongest we saw the market all year. So it does. So 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. parabolics can get pushed, but market conditions matter. And even then, a lot of them don't work either way. So anyways, massive sell-off, massive sell-off, massive, just massive down only over here. Makes this rotation end of day really strong, right? Now this one didn't break high day, but it did get a lot of range on the rotation. Another example was NIVF from the 22nd. See, these are all my Discords, so I track these. I do have to update my Discord. I haven't updated it. I haven't updated the charts in a little bit, but there's a lot of charts in there, so regardless of how updated it is, there's a lot of value. Massive down only. Again, hyper aggressive down halts. Tons of empty space, super aggressive selling. Makes rotations later in the day that much stronger, really. So, anyways, going back to KWE, not surprising that overly aggressive sell-off. You know, I saw this rotation. I'm just like, you know, the irony is it's more likely to push. And then something we've been tracking in my Discord is shorting these high day clearouts, right? What's a good indication for a high day clearout, right? And a lot of these midday high day clearouts, what they end up doing is the best ones. First of all, there should be some type of up only aggressive move earlier in the day, right? And then a lot of times, the more aggressive these pushes are towards the liquidity level, if they stall, they could be super bearish, right? So it's essentially like a hyper aggressive move. We saw this last week of like FRGT, right? Go back to this play from Thursday or whatever it was. It's these overly aggressive rotations. You get like a big parabolic, a deep pullback, and then an overly aggressive liquidity swipe that tops right away. Those I'm noticing getting better at the reads. I was totally absolutely, and this even gave us excellent second push short here, man. Even if you didn't slap it on these two candles, it gave a nice little 1 minute 9 tap. You know, failed rotation past the lower highs up the high day. Perfect candle to short. Same candle I was shorting on my really same idea as behind my what was that ticker today? DSY. Really the same idea of shorting this candle, right? Massive up only liquidity move, failed rotation, same idea. But yeah, shares are really expensive. And then they did some crazy stuff, like high volume bid prop, right? By the way, whenever I see like something, this is a good example of fake whole dollar resistance. $1 getting clearly rejected becomes a paint job for later on this bid prop, right? And then the bid prop fails, sells off into close. That creates a lower high to target in the after hours, right? So crazy stock. So kind of a shorter video today. But yeah, overly aggressive high day liquidity swipe. If it stalls right away, can be very nice, very nice. Walk down in the open, classic little trick. Hyperextended walk down. We had another walk down in the open a couple weeks ago. It's gonna be really hard to find that ticker, but there was a walk down in the open back in late May. I'm gonna spend about 15 seconds looking for this. If I don't find it, I'm giving up. I found it. Wow, PEGY. Another one. From the 28th. Then I'm gonna PEGY. Great ticker, by the way. Go look at PEGY's old charts, if you can, from like a few years ago, whenever it was. Walk down in the open, massive squeeze, right? And by the way, this gap up here, this closed the previous day at 18 cents, so this was almost up 100% on the day. You walk it down, lower highs, get it really tight, squeeze with the market open volume. So walk downs and open can be nice. I think that was the top of the push too. Yeah, it was the top of the push. It was on this crazy multi-day run, and now it's going back to zero. Anyways, that's it for today. KWE and and DSY, whatever that ticker was. Just a small trade. By the way, didn't make a video on Friday. It's been getting nicer. The weather's nicer out in Chicago, so I've been taking my daughter out and just enjoying the weather. So on the days where I just make small trades, like I had one green trade on LFLY. It was like a 10% trade off the 1 minute 200 bid prop on Friday, and that was the only trade I made. And this was the only trade I made because there wasn't really any ideal market open longs outside of longing the walk down on KWE. But I really wasn't. I don't like smacking the 930 candle and that type of thing. And then this was okay. I mean, super far away from high day, so what can I do? That's about it. So you guys have a good one. Information down below about the Discord, and we'll see. Things are still generally kind of weak. Ever since MLGO and the aftermath of NVVE and those types of plays, like it's been kind of a little weakish, right? Then GME came, took all the volume out of kind of the markets, and at least the markets we trade. So keep an eye out. Not overly strong. Got to know the tricks at KWE. Like, why is KWE not a good short in the pre-market? Because of the increasing volume and because of the pre-market walk down, right? A lot of getting better at shorting is recognizing strong structures, right? And waiting for liquidity squeezes and then making a read, right? Like understanding the strength behind this move and making reads up here and making reads up here. And recognizing chart paint on the backside. So that's it for today, guys. You have a good one, and see what happens.